What is going on, my good people? This is Charles Madison with Nexxlegacy Radio, and I'm here today with a wonderful guest. Um, Over the last, I want to say maybe a couple of weeks, I've been an avid listener of this man's music and checking out his journey and just kind of seeing what this man's been up to in terms of his style, his creativity, the things that he does, and I'm intrigued. And I want everybody really to get to the point where they can enjoy just real good music, all genres really. But this man has a single detox that is heavily on my rotation on my radio station right now. And he just got really good energy with his music, and you can find him in a couple of different places, and we're going to discuss that later. But I have my man Slade Brooks with me on Next Legacy here to talk today. What's up,
Hello,
buddy?
hello. Not much. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm glad you are here today, and I am glad that you are here, period. And as I said, man, I've gotten a chance to really get to know your music. I went through your catalog of your stuff, and you have music on rotation on our radio station. And it's just like I told you to start the show, man. Like, I was getting ready for this, and and I heard Detox, and that's just one of my jams. And I was like, you know what? I'm just eager because um throughout my life, and I've said this throughout multiple interviews, that I always discover when I discover new music, I get really curious and I really get a chance to like not just listen to beats and sounds and lyrics and things like that. I just want energy, good energy, right?
Yeah.
And capturing you, Slade, and what you do should be celebrated and appreciated. So I wanted to just say thank you for what you're doing so far because you deserve it, man. So you got to give each other flowers throughout the course of times in life. So you got it here, man. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate
Yeah.
the stuff you do.
Thanks for having me.
Perfect. Perfect. So, as people who are getting to know you for the very first time, man, how did you get started doing music? When did you fall in love with it?
Well, I'd say kind of junior high age. I started playing guitar when I was 14. It was one of those things where, like, my parents uh, were asking me what I wanted to do for the summer. And I was like, Mom, Dad, I want to rock. So it was it. Yeah, get me a guitar and I'll take some lessons. It was either that or feeding chickens. So I chose guitar.
So wait. When you told mom and dad that you want to rock, when did you, before you even told your parents
Mhm.
that what you wanted to do was what you wanted to do, when did you want to rock though? Like when did it hit you that you need to go tell your parents that?
I say probably when I was like 14 when I started playing guitar. I'd say the a few years leading up to that, though, I really got into music, and I think seeing Third Eye Blind on Hard Rock Live was one of the coolest things. And I was like, those guys are awesome. I want to do that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. So you turned that and you heard them and you decided that okay, this is my thing. I need to go tell my folks this is what I wanted to do. What was their reaction overall to just to it?
they were like, "Yeah, that's all right. I guess we could do that." So they were cool with it.
So outside of them assisting you in fulfilling something that you were passionate about, because you know how it is as teenagers or young kids, like, my daughter, she was heavy into tennis, still is to this day, and she's 23. But most of the time there's toys, you pick it up, you put it down, you kind of stop. Um, you clearly have it in you now to continue on because you've been doing it since then. So, what was it about it that made you want to continue to keep it moving despite all the young kid distractions that life will come about as an adolescence?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's just the freedom of music and just being able to express your inner thoughts to the world and um, and you can't be good enough at music ever. You continue to get better and better, and it's very rewarding. Every song written, so that feeling is just incredible. It never stops.
Were you always like that as a kid growing up and you stayed consistent? You know how life changes, Slade. It's different. Your hormones start to trip out and you just start doing different things. But the one thing, and it's cool about music, and you can expand on that, but it just
Mhm.
stays a consistent in your life. no matter what changes you go through, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, I was like really into sports, I guess, before that,
Hmm.
baseball and soccer and stuff. And it felt like, well, I didn't really think of that as a strategy kind of way. And so I thought maybe for the people that are more serious about it, I should just step out of the way, let them do that. And then they wanted us to stay after school to do it in high school. And I was like, no way, I'm playing guitar. So,
You're like, hell no, I got something else to do. So that's what it is. No, that's real cool, man, because I always like to get inside people's minds and their brains about just what makes you stick to the things that you do on a consistent level, because there is life distractions. There is a lot of different things and alter and even what you can become. But having the the intuitiveness, I guess, in a lot of ways, to just be able to stick with it for a long period of time, it speaks volumes on what you do and how you do it. But when did you started growing up, when did it get serious for you? Like, you know what, I'm going to take my act and I'm going to go perform elsewhere and I'm going to turn it up and, rock out and do all the things you do.
definitely by my senior year, I'd say I got really into it. I mean, I was in band class and stuff like that. And it wasn't until my senior year that I said, oh, you know what? Maybe I should study music some more. So I went to college and studied music there for 2 years. And I learned a lot about music theory and stuff that's carried on with me ever since.
And then it became just a regular part of your life. And um a lot of things that you have going on right now, you've written a lot too, not just perform, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
When did you first started writing or getting the itch to want to do it as well?
Definitely like senior year of high school. Um, and then yeah, many years later, I got a little digital recording studio that I was working with. So that was the first time I was able to like record myself and try different parts. And I could write drums and I could write a bass guitar part or a guitar part. And it was definitely a struggle for a long time. But I think in the last probably 5 or 6 years, it's really, I wouldn't say it's gotten easier, but it's more rewarding and it's more fruitful, I guess is how I'd say.
Do you remember the first song you wrote?
Yes, the first song I wrote, of course, was called Broken Heart. And as you can imagine, it was about a girl that I really
Uh-oh.
liked. Yeah, she moved away. So,
Oh, oh. Okay, so you wrote that song. Did she ever hear it?
I don't think so.
No?
I lost contact with her a long time ago. So,
Really?
yeah.
Okay, so when you wrote it, it was the end. Like there was no contact whatsoever. It was just it. And
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Ah. Do you still have that song somewhere in your collection somewhere?
I have demos of it. It's not a public release though. So
Really? Really?
it's a good thing.
So when you write, because I kind of feel like this, just dabbling in music myself and just kind of doing certain things, like it is mood music. Sometimes you could be in love, you want to write a love song. Sometimes you can break up, you can write a breakup song. You can be happy, you can write a happy song, so on and so forth. Do what drives you to do it? Is it the emotional state that you're in, or you can be able to kind of channel whatever that you feel at a particular time to just start writing, depending on what concept you come up with?
Yeah, the emotional state at the time is definitely the big kicker. I always, as far as lyrics go, I always have music first. I'm not one of those people that has like a book of lyrics sitting around and says I'm going to put this to a song someday. And
Yeah.
so I've got to have the music first, and it's just whatever comes to my head at the time when I'm listening back to it, and it just goes from there.
What inspires you? What keeps you doing the things you do? Because again, looking at your catalog, I mean, you've been doing music for a while. Music has been a part of your life for a long time. What keeps you going?
It's always a strive to find the right combination between machine music and man-made music, I would say. You can have like real dead on the beat kind of drums, but then you got to have like some human funk, adding the bass to it, and it's finding the right balance, the right marriage, I think, of those things. And I definitely as a lyricist, I just want to keep getting better and better to the point where it's like you hear the lyrics in the song and you're taken into that song, like it was a VR headset on your head or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Just
I mean,
strive for perfection, I guess you could say.
I got you. And are you your own worst critic when it comes to like the stuff that you do? Like you're always trying to top yourself, or you feel like, you know what, well, I could do better, even though it's out like publicly now, I could still level up and just create a better vibe.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely a hard critic on myself. Lots of rewrites, both musically and lyrically. I could go through like 3 pages of lyrics before I decide on the last like page or so.
Okay. So Slade, are you the consummate overthinker? Like you're like you said, writes, rewrites, do whatever. But it just still continue to keeps playing in your head because you could actually feel like you can top whatever it is that's going on right now in a particular mood or vibe you're feeling when you're making music.
Yeah, maybe I'm a bit of an overthinker on that. There are songwriters out there that can be satisfied with the first thing they write,
Right.
And I think that's probably like someone like Jack White is so productive because he probably just writes the first thing that comes to his head and he's like, yeah, that's good enough. That's cool. And I love Jack White, don't get me wrong, but
Right, right.
I think he's got kind of more of that improvisation kind of feel to his music where it's like the first thing that comes to his head will be what comes out. For me though, I've got to perfect it. I've got to get the lyrics right. I've got to get the music right, all the transitions, all those kinds of things.
So and I hear you because a lot of people I know, man, they struggle with getting it out. And when I say get it out, I'm talking about not just get the song, but they'll keep going over and over and over and over and over again and still want to keep tinkering with it and not put it out. So, Slade, when you put it to bed, when you say, you know what, I've done all I can do with it and I'm just ready to let it go, are you 100% like satisfied with it? Or are you still is on the fence, even though you're getting ready to drop it?
Um, well, I see what you're saying. People, I definitely can hear things that I do differently in my old
Mhm.
music. But I mean, you do have to get to a point where you're like, oh, okay, that's enough. Let's go on to
Yeah.
the next song.
Yeah.
We'll get it right the next time.
Right.
So
Yeah,
yes,
you
yeah,
know what?
I
And
do
and
that.
it's cool that you have the strength to be able to do that because you being you want to perfect it, but also you have it in you that says enough is enough. So that's a dedication to itself that you kind of have to discipline yourself in order for you to just kind of, you know what, screw it. I'm good with this. I can put this to bed and I can work on it. So when you, because just looking through your stuff, man, like I just hear growth. I just, I scrolled down, I, checked out a few of your songs and, in this other one. And I just feel like, there's a sense of who it is that you want to be with your music. And I hear the growth. Do you hear the growth in yourself after doing music all this time?
Oh, definitely. There's a huge night and day difference between like my first record and my second one that just came out, which is right
Yeah.
here,
Mm-hmm.
by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The missing piece of my darkened heart. Said it wrong there. Um, yeah, I think there's a huge difference in where my music's evolved for the first 2 records, and I hope to continue on that path. Um, I have this desire, like I want people to like hear one song and then they'll hear a next song and then they'll song after that and they'll be like, "You mean this is the same guy that did this song?" Yeah, it's the same guy. There's so many genres of music out there. Why would we stick to just one? You know?
And I think that's what makes you sound different. Like your sound doesn't sound like somebody else's sound. And I tell this to a lot of people recently that I've, either interviewed or talked to. I look for that because I don't want to hear somebody that sounds like somebody else. It's just a cheap knockoff, and it just dilutes the creativity of who you are and who you can be. Um, how do you feel about that too? Because again, like I said, and I don't know if you get this a lot, but you sound like Slade Brooks, and that's totally fine. And that's what makes you very genuine and very unique yourself, because you do have a specific sound. So what do you think about not just that concept of just sticking to the roots of who you are, but be okay with it too at the end of the day?
Well, the way I see it is like there are certain things that I do want to do in music, but sometimes I find them just ridiculously hard. Like if I want to write heavier stuff, sounds good in theory, but how do I get there? And so um, part of it's, I think, the struggle to get to where I want that makes my music sound the way it does. Um, and I mean, I definitely want to be as a unique artist as I possibly can.
Right.
Yeah. So that's definitely a drive.
Yeah, and it just makes the things that you do just so dope to me, because I just know that I listen to a lot more, because I've been in front of cameras or behind the scenes or music and things like that, and I know the little intricate parts of what makes a song a song. um and I just know that it's really important to just establish your own sound and be unique. So what other artists inspired you though? Because to me, I always feel like anybody that motivates, what, I got either an artist or a group or a band or whatever that really made me fall in love with this, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to sound like this. I'm going to sound like myself in the process. So what other bands or artists inspired you throughout this journey you have so far?
Oh man, it goes all the way like from the 50s to new music. Elvis, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Queen, REM, the White Stripes, Nirvana, Third Eye Blind, the Kills. Um, Last 5 years, listened to a lot of 90s house. Listened to what else? A lot of electro. So a lot of electronic music, a lot of rock music for sure.
So clearly, just from your sound, you've taken pieces of certain genres of music, and you've kind of developed your own unique ability to kind of integrate a lot of what you do with it. So one thing that intrigues me is I always find people just kind of like, define your sound. Like, are you REM, or are you house, or are you whatever? Do you have a definition of your sound, or it's just music at the end of the day? And then if you want to define something, then you can define it.
That's how it should be. I mean, I guess if I needed to give an answer, I would say that I'm um, electronics inspired rock music. I definitely use like drum machines and program bass and piano and stuff like that, but I'm also trying to get guitar in there. Um, my latest song, Stomp Your Feet, has trumpet, and I got a bass player on that song. And it varies from song to song, just whatever needs to happen for that song. We'll get it recorded.
Do you create the visual concepts for some of the things that you do when you either perform live, or you do videos and stuff like that? Like, what's the thought process behind the visuals? Because remember, I'm a radio guy, right? So a lot of the
Mhm.
years that I've done radio was not in front of a camera, right? It was just, you call in, we do a radio interview, and that's it. I think over time we've all evolved, and now it's just kind of like people want to see the name, the face, the this, the that, stuff like that. So how do you bring that visualization to your music?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I don't know. I mean, like on my CD, I did the artwork on that and the photography that's in it. If anyone buys a CD, so just when the moment hits me, if I think of something visual that I can create, I'm not like much of a photographer or much of a visual artist per se, but um, with my music videos, I usually have like some images in my head and kind of a story that I can think of. My director's really good about filling in the gaps, and the cinematography stuff, like I'm not that great at. It's more about the story to me, I think, in that sense. And I don't know. I mean, you hear a piece of music and you might think of like the night sky or something. So I want
Yeah.
to capture that in the music video or, things like that.
And that's what makes your sound and just what you embody is so dope because it's not complicated. It's like, here, let me hit you in the face with this and then keep it moving, right? Like I just
Yeah.
think it's cool because I love the visualization of things. I mean, you kind of play with it and you kind of get intrigued by it and it's what it is. But I think if you dive deep into like who you are from what I see and hear, you are as, respect me when I say this, simple in a way where it's organic in nature, where you don't have to look everywhere for you because again, I'm gonna hit you in the face with what I got right now too. And I think that's super dope. Um, what kind of personality that you have that you bring to the level of music that you create? Because to me, I always feel like this, and go with me when I say this. Like, when you do music, not just your flavor of music, but just music in general, it's got to come from somewhere else inside you, right? So
Right.
you can be this mild mannered person that I see right now, but I've seen some of your stuff, man. You got some energy attached to you when you do your thing. So where does that come from? Tell me about, where you go from what's out here to what's inside that you got to bring it out to the people.
Well, I actually am really introverted.
Okay.
And I think being a front man, even when I had a band, I was, the front man. And just, I think admiring the stage presence of all the singers before me, like, is an inspiration to me. And you got to get people going somehow. So you got to bring the energy. Um, Gosh, that's a hard one. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
But you know what? Slade, you're introvert because I feel like I am too, and then sometimes you just gotta go get it. Like, but and I'm sure if you're an introvert like me, sometimes you go do a show, you go rock out, or you do a video, or you do something, and then you just go be by yourself for a little bit because that's kind of what I need to be. Like, I'm all the way out here for all you guys, but I like being by myself. Do you find that some people, fans, people people that's getting to know you, do they feel like that is a thing they understand or not so much?
Maybe not so much. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I'm pretty introverted, but when I go on stage, man, I can let that go out the window and be someone else. And I think that's the beauty of it. The beauty of music is there's something inside you that needs to get out. And through music and performing and stuff like that, that's the way to get it out.
And I think as a fellow introvert, I find that intriguing because sometimes, so it's hard for some people to understand like how secluded that you want to be, that they get frustrated sometimes that you are. Oh, come on out. It's I don't want to go. Like I just don't want to do it. Or, you know, just okay, you know what? I'm trying to understand. Like in music, I'm starting to get an understanding about people like yourself and others who, desire peace in a chaos world, even in creating music that you just, sometimes, I feel alone sometimes, or sometimes, but it's okay. I'm comfortable in my own skin to be that way.
Mhm.
And, applaud you for just sticking with it because some people just want to go out, man, just because they want to go out. I'll go out, but I'll go out with a purpose. I'm not just going out just to go out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
Which I think is super cool. Um, Talk about your project that you have right now that's out that the people should definitely know and get to know. So talk to me a little bit about the process in making it and how did you feel when you were finished to get
Okay.
it out to the
Well,
world?
yeah, my latest EP is the missing piece of my darkened heart, which is out everywhere right now. It started in, let's see, I guess the first song that I finished was in 2021. It was a song called Reasons Why. And then, um, well, I actually had a song that I started before that. Stomp Your Feet was the last song I recorded, but it's the one
Mhm.
that took the longest. It took me 6 years to write that song.
No way.
Yeah, I did. I had the hook for it, like this bass part and the drums and the vocals, and then like just nothing. But I kept coming back to it. I knew there was potential there, so I kept working at it. And eventually, like in this last year, I was able to push it further, and I had an idea of what to do with the melody to make it go farther. So that one took the longest. You got the song Detox you mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
House Chemistry. There's other songs on it. And it's just been, I've been recording it 1 or 2 songs at a time. Just like financially, that was the way I had to do it. I'd go into the studio with a song and then work on writing the next one, and then come back 6 months later or something like that and work on it. Probably, and it was like, usually each song was recorded weeks or months apart, each studio session. So just being an independent artist, you do what you can to finish your art, and that's how I had to do it. It was, record here, take a break, record later.
But you did the things you needed to do to stick with it, and you need to be commended. To me, it doesn't matter if it comes out next week or next month or next year or a few years. Like, you never stopped, meaning you may have put it down, but you didn't forget about it, which I think is super cool. Because again, I go back to like just people in general that I know, they just don't put out the music they start off with. Oh yeah, I was working on that like 5 years ago. Oh, did you get it done? No. No.
Yeah, some people just have a different mentality with studio and playing live and stuff. I mean, some people prefer playing live over recording. I absolutely love the recording process, because I think there's so much more you can do in a studio than I'm like not much of a producer or engineer type person. So taking it to someone else who knows how to do all the cool tricks and stuff, that's like very rewarding. Getting my songs completed, like the studio is kind of a tool, really, creating your song.
How's it working with others as well though? Like you mentioned the engineers, the producers, the who everybody that's kind of like in your circle in terms of trying to be able to get not just this project, but even futures in the past projects out. Like, how's your work relationships with a lot of these people? It takes a lot of communication and effort, right?
Absolutely, it does. Jason Ringelstetter was the producer and engineer on this record, and he was absolutely great to work with. Very encouraging, very friendly. When I write songs, I try and write as much of it as I can, and then once I get stuck, that's usually when I bring other people in. So it's a different group of musicians, like really on every song. Some songs, like I felt like I needed to have a human bass player, someone to actually play bass, versus having like some programmed bass part. I got a song that has trumpet on it. I could hear the trumpet, and I had like basic parts for it. But he came in and did a little bit of improv, and it sounded great. Trying to think, I had a couple drummers in there, played some drums, like hybrid. We did the electronic drums with, like, say, hi-hats, or maybe just the snare. Sometimes I mix and match stuff like that. Everybody's really great. I'm gonna name drop some people here. Darian Renee did backup vocals on Reasons Why. I had Mike Jones, my friend, played drums on that Reasons Why as well. Alex played piano on Detox. There's some others. So if I forgot anybody, sorry, but everybody was really great. They're like the first person that I heard play each of those parts, and I was like, yeah, you got the job. So
nice.
Really great musicians. I'm really fortunate that we have such great musicians here in the Boise area.
Nice.
So great working with all of them.
I love it. Talk to me a little bit though about just the concept of working with a team, because sometimes you work with a team and everybody has different agendas as far as not just trying to how your music should sound, even though you're creating it, but just opinions can be varied, and just egos could be out there too. Like, I feel like I know what's best for you, Slade, so I'm going to do this or whatever. Like,
Right.
it could really be like that throughout like your journey. So how important is it really just to work with people that is very pro communication?
Well, I'll explain my experience was that I would generally have like an idea of what I wanted them to play, but then you got to loosen up a little bit. You can't be like, oh, you have to do it this way. You got to
Right.
give people a little room to kind of play their own thing. And so everybody was really great. I really didn't have any kind of ego clashes with anyone. Um, it was mainly just getting people that had the time to work on it and had the ability to get into the studio and record their thing. And that was it. It was really pretty easy process. I think I only had of what was it, maybe like 7 people that I brought into the studio. Only like there was only 2 that ended up didn't working out, like they didn't have enough time to work on the song or something like that. But there wasn't really any. I guess I was the ego, not them.
I got you. I think
I don't
about,
think that they would think that, but
yeah.
it was a great experience really with everybody. So
Yeah, I have throughout my radio career and even in life in general, like I'm big on critique. Like I can't stand when people say yes to me all the time because I just don't think it's real. Like I just you can I'm not perfect. I don't think you are. Nobody is. So if you're coming at me every single day, yes, yes, oh that's fine, that's perfect. I just think there's something wrong in my opinion. Like
yeah,
what's
that's true.
wrong? Like what you're saying to me, you might say something different to somebody else, and I just start feeling that way because I just don't get it. Even with sound, even with whatever else, like chop me down if you have to, and give me some real honest feedback about certain things. And speaking of honest feedback, when it comes to your current project now, what feedback have you gotten from just your camp and just some of the supporters that's out there right now?
Well, the album's still pretty new. Haven't heard a whole lot yet.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that changes soon. Please, people, comment, give me some feedback. I'm
Yeah,
telling your
and
audience.
yeah, and I think it's important, and just going through like the playlist of who you have, what you have going on with yourself as well. And and I mentioned certain songs. um I just think that you have a unique gift that I think more people need to know. So, we'll talk about social media and where to follow and everything else that comes with that. But I'm telling you, get on this man's train now, because when it gets rolling, you might get left. And I'm just keeping it real because it's needed when it comes to like organic, real music from any artist of any genre and anything like that. And if you're not backing Slade, hey, listen, I'm investing in the Slade stock right now. So if you don't do it, it's gonna be a problem. If you don't do it now,
Oh,
so you better tap in now. It's gonna be a problem. Just
you make
saying,
me
man.
cry.
Just
Oh, I
just saying.
appreciate it.
No, it's true, but how important though is getting your music out to other folks vital in the development of even your growth in music, not just radio, but just booking shows and gigs and stuff like that or whatever. Talk to me about that.
It's very crucial that the people hear it because that's what inspires me to keep going. So, yeah, I mean, you might hear something you like, and I hope you do. And you put it on your playlist and tell a friend, tell 5 friends, tell 20 if you want.
Yeah.
Um, very important. Spread the word, please.
I always tell people to just put everybody can get it. Husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, mistress, whoever, just get it. Just embrace all things that is, because like I told you earlier to start the show, I love discovering new music from artists, and then I start really doing some homework and things like that when it comes to the things that you have going on in this particular situation. So radio's important, booking gigs is important. You mentioned that you love doing studio songs, but how does it feel when you go out and perform your songs in front of a live audience? Like, what kind of adrenaline? I know we talked about it a little bit, but the moment you get booked, the moment you get on stage, the
Mhm.
moment you get off stage, how does all that feel, man?
Oh man, you go up there and you just want the world to hear what you have in your heart when the songs that you sing. It's definitely an adrenaline rush. You get up there and maybe you're nervous for the first few seconds, but then
Yeah.
after that, after that, it goes away.
Yeah.
That's how it is for me, not for everybody. But
No, you're not alone, because getting up there, like, oh my God, it's the adrenaline rush mixed with nerves, mixed with anticipation, mixed with eagerness, mixed with whatever else that's shaking in you at that particular time. But just to get in there and get it done is beautiful, man. What do you think, Slade, about social media, the impact and the need for it? Because there is a need for it, but what are your thoughts on it?
there definitely is, and that is the modern way how we do things. I sort of wish that I was back like before social media to see how it was done. When bands would go out and hand out flyers, and I mean, word of mouth, playing shows. Like, you had to be out there just busting ass to get your name out there. Now with social media, um, and we've seen musicians that some are like not involved, and it's sad. There's some really great bands out there that do not promote their shows, and it's like they're missing out. That's how you have to do it these days. um, it's tricky. As a guy, I'm 42 years old, so sometimes making social media posts, I'm like, I don't know what these people want to see. It's a
Right,
struggle,
right.
sure. I just post what I think is cool, and that's it.
No, you're right, because you just never know what's gonna hit or resonate to somebody. But I think if and you know this, Slade, I think if you just be true to yourself, you know what, so they're gonna come. Because I feel like you have to, not just, you said you're 42, so you kind of had one foot in and out the door of what social media became, like, literally, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that. But I think now it's just kind of like a brand thing. Like, you can't have it like the 90s had it, where you can just drop a CD or a tape or whatever it was, and you get $1 off of that, and you can just kind of let the machine do what it does. Now, as an artist, you kind of have to go out there and brand yourself too, and put yourself out there in a mix of other people. So, but you've been navigating through it pretty fine. You haven't had any issues. It's been pretty quiet so far.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's consistency, I guess, through social media. And it's not just the thing that bothers me, I guess, about social media is like the trends when bands just do do posts that are trendy.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
we gotta try harder to come up with our own unique kind of posts. That's the real struggle. That's what I think people really want to see.
Yeah, those trending posts is, it's just not cool, man. I'm just being real. Like, I just never was a fan of, like, oh, it's a trend, let me go do it too. No, let me
Yeah.
start my own trend. It's just like followers. Like, hey, I appreciate the follow, but I hope you turn that follow into support. Like, don't just follow me just
Mhm.
because it gets a little weird anyways when it comes to that. But just support, don't just follow, because following is just like stalking, so you don't want to do
Yeah.
that. You
We
just
don't want stalkers. We
no,
want inact.
right, right, man. So listen, with your new project out, um what is next in your horizon, or you're not looking past that right now, you're just going to focus on promoting your current CD that's out? What's next for
Uh,
you?
yeah, well, promoting the CD right now is the main thing, but I do plan on making a couple more music videos this year for the singles that I didn't get to make a music video yet.
Hmm.
So you'll probably see a video for Stomp Your Feet and for Detox this year. I took a little bit of time off and just been like thinking about what to do differently on the next album. So I've been kind of formulating some concepts of what I want to do musically and lyrically, and kind of compiling them together, and been working on some new stuff as well.
Hmm. Wonderful. I'm a fan, man. So it's beautiful to be able to see. So a couple more questions with you as well, but one of the ones I want to ask you, and it's just really just, when you look back at what you've accomplished so far, um, just name a few things that you can say, you know what, I'm proud of myself for doing, and then fill in the blanks. What are you most proud of?
I am most proud of the effort put into this latest record. and the patience that I had throughout the process. This was definitely a more expensive record to make than my first one. So the financial part of it, I mean, I had to work for that and pay it off as I went. All covered on myself by myself, independent artist. I'm proud of that. And proud of the videos that we've done so far. Yeah, that's about all I got, I guess.
So I'm gonna basically put myself out there for all the Slade supporters out there, and established and new that's either listening to this or will run this back. This man's music is tremendous. He also needs support. You heard what this man just said. He literally is investing in himself so he can be able to get this product out to give to you. So what that means is we have to find ways to be able to invest in this man's stock so he can basically start focusing on music 100% of the time. Because Slade, correct me if I'm wrong, and you can stop me, but you can agree, if you pour 100% into all that you do, and the distractions of a 9 to 5 and trying to be able to get the money to do this will all go away, and you can just slowly focus on it, will that change your demeanor, your approach? Like, you know what? Let me get up in the morning and just write. Let me get up in the morning and just rock out. Let me get up in the morning and just do what I got to do. That will change a person, right?
That is correct. So, I mean, you guys stream my music, buy my music, any of that helps. It gives me the encouragement to continue on and keep making music. So support definitely, and keep up to date on my social media so you can know when I've got shows or any new music coming out. That definitely helps. That's a start.
And deeper than that, invest in this man. Ads, ad placement, commercials, anything where you can be able to get a lead for this man to be able to get more. This is just me letting people know, like, it's important. Slade doesn't just wake up and create a 3-minute song. It takes forever to do it. No, I don't want to say forever. It can take that way, but you know what I mean, though, right? Like, it's not one of those where you're just going to be like, yeah, I can make a 3-minute song in 3 minutes. No, it takes time. So,
it definitely does.
It takes effort. We need more. So I want to put myself out there. He will get rotation played. He will get supported. And it's not just going to be the one-time situation. It will be continuous as long as he's putting music out there. Period. And I need other people out there to follow suit and do the same, because my audience getting to know him is going to be amazing, and I need everybody to follow suit and do the same. So with that being said, where can they follow you on social media, sir?
At Slade Brooks Official is my handle on Facebook, Instagram. I got a TikTok. I've got YouTube. Those are the main ones. Let's go with those.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Bandcamp as well. And I look at it like this, if anything, and then before we wrap up, I feel like being a now supporter, Team Slade all day, and it's what it is. I just feel like a lot of people should get to know what do you do besides music? Like, music is your life. I get that. Like, do you have any other hobbies? What are some of the other things? Like, you can just name one thing that you do besides music.
I play disc golf when the weather's better.
Okay.
Disc
so
golf,
how good are you?
Not that good. But it's fun. I like throwing that frisbee into that pin.
There you go. Okay. All right. So so that's a challenge. So you're still challenging yourself to get a little better of it, but you're having fun while you're doing it. So golf it is.
Mm-hmm.
I tried a couple of times, man. I'm not even going to tell you what I did. It was terrible, but it was terrible.
It's hard game.
I don't know. I don't understand how they could hit that damn thing and curve it and do all the things they do with it, man. I don't get it. I'm a football guy myself, but at the same time, man, golf. Ugh. But I had fun doing it though, even though I couldn't do shit. I still did that, and it was fun. So it's what it is. Slade, I know you gave some shout outs earlier, but go ahead and give some more shout outs if you need to before we wrap it up.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to my family, my mom, and my sisters, and my brother. And I'd like to say hi to my friend Jake. And yeah, just keep it short. We'll just go with those.
All right. Man, I appreciate you for coming on to the show. This aired on YouTube, LinkedIn, Discord, Facebook, and the radio station, and all over. But you have a home here at Nexxlegacy Radio. Our music, our station runs music 24/7. You will always have a lengthy, relationship with us now. So, since we're family members now, just make sure you come back, when you have something new, or if you just want to hang out and just, your home is my home, man. That's what we do.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'd love to come back.
Man, I appreciate you. Listen, everybody, book this man, get this man for a gig somewhere and stuff like that. Do it. Stop playing. That man got talent. So if you haven't heard him, you need to hear him now. Go listen to his new project, but also check out his catalog. And shout out to you for your catalog. Not too many people can safely say that, you know what, you got a couple of projects out. You got some videos on YouTube. Give out your YouTube one more time for the people.
At Slade Brooks Official.
Go make that damn channel in those videos go viral. Go do it yesterday.
Yes.
Just saying.
YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, it's out everywhere. So check it out.
There you go. Slade, I appreciate you. Come back for more, sir. Come back for more. I appreciate your time.
I absolutely will. Thanks for having me.
You got it, buddy. All right, people. That is the wonderful, talented Slade right here on Nexxlegacy Radio. I appreciate all the people who tuned in. I appreciate all the people. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this line clear. Okay, there we go. I appreciate all the people out there who checked this interview out and future interviews that we'll be doing and past interviews that we have on deck. But make sure you tune in. I have a whole different list of things that I have working on for next week as well. I have another list. There's so many different things going on with this channel and with radio. I need you to, if you're trying to figure out how to get onto radio, you can literally go to nexxlegacy.com, nexxlegacy.com. You can check out the radio station there. Or if you're driving in your car, or if you want it on your phone, you can go to the app and download the free Nexxlegacy Radio app, which is available on iTunes and your Google Play, Android devices, and all that stuff. And if you want to be booked for an interview, the email is right there, charlesmadison@nexxlegacy.com. Once again, I appreciate all the people that tuned in, listening on the side. I appreciate all the platforms that's being airing right now. It's super dope. Shout out to Eye to Eye Entertainment, Bro Meezy's project on Fridays all day. Tap into that. Right now, we got syndicasts on radio stations. Hey, listen, if you like EDM, if you like house music, if you like disco, if you like all that stuff, is playing. Radio stations playing right now, people. So go tap in and listen to all this stuff. So I will be on Instagram and Facebook Live for a few minutes on each platform. So just make sure you follow me on those channels. But again, thank you so much.